No idea why these images are still so blurry. I apologize for that. I'm literally downloading them from Google. I guess maybe I'm downloading them too fast. Before I get into the review of this project, the vinyl for it looks really cool, and I wish I liked this album enough to buy it because it looks sick. And maybe one day when I'm just kind of getting vinyls to get them, if I'm in that kind of position, then I'll probably get it because it looks sick. It looks really nice. Anyway, Logic has never been a rapper that I've paid real close attention to. I've tapped into a couple projects a long time ago, and whenever he dropped, was it Bobby Tarantino 3? I listened to that, and I thought it was alright. I actually liked it. I thought it was kind of like average, like kind of towards the beginning of it, but whenever the ending came on, I thought it was great. I thought certain songs sounded hard. I think one of the songs was called Vaccine. I like that one. And what was the other one? Like God Might Judge. That one was a really good song. I like that one a lot. I also know this album is kind of like a sequel to his what I don't remember that last one where he's like on the spaceship, and this is kind of a sequel to that. And apparently he's been teasing this for a long time. I'm not really a big listener or follower of concept albums. And whenever I say that, I mean like I can understand and grasp a concept. I'm not saying that I can't. It's more so that I don't like necessarily look for that. Like if you have a cool concept, sure, but I'm not gonna really like let's say in this album review, I like the concept on this album and I understand it, but I'm not considering that much in this like in this project rating because I'm not looking for that. You know what I'm saying? By the way, if there's a weird cutoff right there, my iPad's dying. I'm gonna have to charge that after a couple I record a couple videos. But very sonically nice album. This album does for sure sound very pleasing, very nice, very smooth production. I said that wrong and then said it right. Production. Very smooth vocals from Logic, and he is a good rapper. He definitely is. I know sometimes Logic has had the reputation of being like corny, and I can definitely see where he got that from. But I definitely don't think you can take away this guy's rapping ability, because I mean it sounds great on this album. One problem I think I've seen other people say too that I also had, he doesn't sound hungry. He kind of just sounds like he's rapping to rap after the intro. I feel like the intro comes on, it does sound like he got mad one day and just went crazy rapping. Actually, that's not a good comparison. He sounded very inspired to rap that song. I do think it's too long. Come on now, 10 minutes. I don't want to listen to a 10-minute long song. And I know it's not all him rapping and there's like a skit at the end, but still, man, golly gomer. Like 10 minutes on one track, Jesus. This also talking about the skits, they did not have to be at the end of every single song, man. Come on. A skit at the end of like every single song, I didn't need all that. It didn't necessarily take me out of it because I knew I was listening to a concept album, but it kind of gets a little annoying that like at the end of every single song I'm kind of feeling it and then I hear another guy's voice. I don't know, maybe that's just a me problem. It kind of just got annoying. It is for sure too long. I do think this album could have been a couple songs shorter. It's like it's over an hour. I think that's a little much. It's like 20 songs. I know a couple of them are skits, but good lord, maybe that that 10-minute long intro could have been enough to I know that kind of bolsters the runtime a little bit, but still, man, Jesus, is a little long. I wasn't too awfully bored though. I can think an album is long without being bored with it. I never got bored. That is something I can give this album. I never felt bored. Logic's, like I said, I have another note. Logic sounds great rapping. He sounds comfortable, in his little pocket. One problem I do have, though, he never really went out of it. He never really went out of that comfortable position he felt like he was in. I didn't cringe when I heard the N-word. I know that's a very strange comment, but I feel like every other time I've ever heard Logic say it in a song, I've cringed. Like, it sounds like he's forcing it. But I don't remember the name of the song on the project. But on this song, it's actually alright. It's a pretty decent song. And he says it like a lot. And it does, I didn't even necessarily notice he was saying it a lot because it just sounded fluid. And I feel like that's such a crazy critique. But, if I'm cringing whenever you say a certain song, or say a certain word, yeah, that's not good. You know what I'm saying? That's not good at all. And y'all will see whenever I do that YG album review eventually. Y'all see this before you see that. I'm about to write the script for it now. Whenever I'm cringing during listening to your album review, that is not good. You know what I'm saying? I do think the features could have been better. There was a couple voices on here that I didn't necessarily care for. I do think the feature on Antidote is really good, and that I like DJ Drama. I think his addition on certain songs can be really good. I liked him on Deja Vu. I thought that sounded great. It is definitely a great concept / sounding album. Like, this album sounds great. I can't stress that enough. It sounds fantastic. Like, some very nice... It just... Honestly, if you look at the cover for this album, it sounds like you're in that guy's position. Like, it definitely sounds like you're above the clouds, you're in this atmosphere, the sky's pink, you know, you're this little robot just exploring. It definitely sounds like that. Overall, I'd give it like a 7.5 out of 10, and I think that's pretty good. I think that's better than Bobby Tarantino 3, and I do plan on one day going in, sorry if you heard that crumble, I was crumbling up my notes. I do plan on one day probably exploring a lot more of Logic's catalog, because I know people consider like his first two Bobby Tarantino's classics. But just going off of what I heard from him, I don't dislike Logic, but I've never been a big fan or like paid attention to him too much. This album kind of makes me want to a little bit more, not because it's fantastic, but you know, it's it's a good album. I enjoyed listening to it, never got bored or anything. So yeah, 7.5. And I know I do it at the end of every video, but I have another Patreon, and the link is in the description. Feel free to go check it out. If you guys are interested, for as little as $1.50 a month, you can get exclusive shoutouts and videos and early access to them. Or for as much as $20 a month, you can get all previous membership like benefits, plus a free t-shirt every month, a free Fatal K t-shirt. I think that's worth it because that's cheaper than the actual t-shirt. But anyway, you guys go do that if you want to. Hit the subscribe button, like the video, you know, enjoy your guys' day.